I thought that implementing AI into my recipe app was gonna be difficult and take a long time, but it's actually surprisingly quick and easy to implement, and I'm gonna talk about the whole process in this video. By the way, if you want to create your own app, you can join my community down below. So let's go. Why do I need AI in my app? So in my recipe app, there's a functionality to add recipes that people want to create. But whenever I'm using the app, it felt too troublesome to always fill in each and every individual inputs. There's too much friction to just add a recipe, which can cause users to just not use the app anymore. So to reduce that chance from happening, I wanted to make adding recipes more easier. Maybe a place where users can freely type or paste a recipe, then the AI can interpret it and fill in the form. But to make that work, I have no clue how to do it. Coincidentally, I recently watched a video by Quiz, who also tried to implement AI into his own app. He said something about trying to implement Claude AI into his own app. With the information, I searched online on what models do Claude offer. The best one I found out was Haiku 4.5, which is cheap and is perfect for my simple use case. So I asked Claude on how to fit it into my own app and got to work. Fitting AI into my app. Claude recommended me to add 3 new states. One for keeping track whether the user want to log recipes manually or automatically. One for keeping track of what the users type in to the input. And one for keeping track of when Claude AI is in the process of interpreting what the users type in. The process of interpreting is called parsing, where the text in the text input turns into JSON to put into the input fields. After adding the use states, I then added a function that actually do the parsing. This is where AI is going to interpret the input that the user type in. When the function is called, if there's no text pasted in, then don't do anything. If there's text, move forward. Now, I set parsing is equals to true to say that, okay, now AI is in the process of interpreting the text that you put in. When parsing is equals to true, that means it's in the process. The button will show loading icon to tell the user that the app is doing something. Okay, now the user will know that the app is actually interpreting the things that they put in. It's like a visual feedback. But what is the app actually doing? In summary, the code will send the things inside the curly braces to https:// blah blah blah, because the method is post. The first few things that I'm sending over to the AI API is the type of data that I'm sending, which is JSON, the API key, which I put in my environment variable, and the Claude API version that I want to use. Then below is the actual JSON data or the actual data. It tells the AI the model to use, putting a cap on how much I want the AI to produce so that it doesn't spend too much of my money. And then the prompts, which is the juicy part. There's 2 prompts to fill in. The prompts for the AI, where you tell it on what you want it to do, and the prompts that the user will put in, where the magic of the AI will work on. In this case, is the actual recipes that the user put in. For the prompts for the AI, I told the AI that, okay, you are a recipe parser. Extract the recipe information, return only JSON, then told the AI the structure of the result that I want, then told it to not explain anything and don't hallucinate and invent any missing data. So if you plan to use AI, the prompt structure that I recommend is first, put in the role of the AI you want it to have, what you want it to do, what results that you are expecting, and what not to do. In the prompt from the users is where I put in the variable pasted text from the users. This is what the users type in into the text input. The whole thing will give a JSON response, which will then be used to autofill into the fields in the add recipe form. Quite cool. And finally, I built a development build for this app, since Expo doesn't support this, and tested it out. An error produced when I tried adding a recipe for the first time. I then realized that the data had the word JSON and 3 bad ticks in it. So I had to remove those by cleaning the result, and also log the raw data to see what it produces. Looks good. The error still appeared, but now I have the logs, which makes it easier to debug. So I pasted in the log from the console to the prompt. Then Claude just repeated the same thing that I did just now back at me. I gave up on Claude and asked ChatGPT instead. I gave the code and the logs to it, and then realized I was using the wrong data. Once I fixed that, the code works. To be honest, it took lesser time than I expected, but I was happy that I was able to nap early that day. But I might want to improve the prompt further and further so that it can interpret different kinds of data that different people will use, because maybe some will structure the data differently, or some might structure the text or the recipes differently. So I might want to find a way for the AI to interpret all these different kind of text that the user might put in. The users have different ways of saving recipes, and it is important that AI don't just break when different kind of recipes showed up. So yeah, this is how I implement AI into my recipe app. Anyway, it's just my opinion. Bye.